Final week of the regular season here in the Huddle with Coach Ruffin. We're glad to have you with us. I'm A.A. Moore with the head coach of the Golden Bears, Reginald Ruffin. And Coach, big ball game this week for a lot of reasons. Tuskegee, the natural rival here of the Golden Bears. You got the Western Division title on the line. It's their homecoming. Just a lot of things, big time things going on between these two rivals.
Well, Tuskegee, what can I say? All the wins they have in HBCUs and, Coach Slater being my former boss and, me really wanted to impress him with the victory and him wanting to impress me with the victory. So I was very excited that we got a chance to meet up on the field and talk a little bit before we got this thing kicked off.
And again, like I said, the Western Division title on the line, a berth in the SIAC championship game for the winner of this ball game, and that's normal because in the 9 years of the East and West divisions in the SIAC, 8 times this game has determined who went on to play for the championship.
Well, it came down to Miles Tuskegee, and what can I say? That's built for having a great atmosphere. You can look at for the homecoming, and it was packed. It was crazy out there, but I thought our guys was focused, and I thought our guys came ready to play.
Well, when we come back, we're going to get into the highlights of this huge ball game between Tuskegee and Miles. You're watching In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
Oh, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, copying, taping, binding, consulting, designing, returning, storing, grading. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin is brought to you in part by Andrews Sports Medicine, ADT, the UPS Store, TNT Fireworks, and the Maxwell Tillman Law Firm.
Back here in the Huddle with Coach Ruffin. And Coach, before we get to the highlights here in the first half, we talked about it before the break about these two teams playing for the big stakes seemingly every year, especially over the last 9 years. How much does that help you prepare these guys, especially some of the veteran guys, to get ready for this ball game?
Well, it's a big ball game, in-state rivalry. Tuskegee. Everybody always knew Tuskegee were always been the team to beat. All the championships, all the wins in HBCU. All the Division I, FCS schools they have beaten over the years, and this was a big game. I thought our kids really took pride in knowing this was a big game. Everything was at stake. The West Division title. It was Tuskegee homecoming, so we were a little bit upset about being someone homecoming opponent, especially this late in the game. And, and it's just it was an exciting time for our football team for us to finally just step up, and just make a name for ourselves.
And the fact that Tuskegee is always seems, at least, to be the team that is the favorite, even though coming into this ball game, Miles had the better record, was in the top position in the division. Does that take some of the pressure off, maybe feeling like, hey, we don't have that bullseye on our back?
Well, it's always, because it's always Miles, Tuskegee, Miles, and since I've been here as head coach and been a part of, Tuskegee University as an assistant. So, for me, it's a rivalry game. Everything is throw it all out the window. And so I just thought our kids just had to know and understand that this is rivalry, man. This is why you play this game. Homecoming. Your homecoming opponent, championship, going to the championship game on the line, West Division title, 8 out of the last 9 years against this team, and, everything was at stake.
Well, we're going to get into the highlights. It was an exciting ball game from beginning to end. Well, it may have been, depending on who you were rooting for. Hopefully, it's the Golden Bears. Golden Bears and Tuskegee, winner going to the SIAC championship game, more than 23,000. At least that was the estimated crowd, but it seemed like there was a lot more. And Tuskegee, after they get the ball the first time, right up the middle, Torian Taylor, 30 yards, stopped by Maxwell Wells.
Yeah, linebacker out of position, he's got to get in position. We talked about that all week. They had a great running back.
Then Kenny Gant here, different running back, seemingly same play right up the middle for 16 yards.
Yeah, they gashed us the first 2 run plays, and we just had to make sure we just get those gaps and become gap-sound football team.
Well, Miles tightens up. Arnez Huskick kicks one in from 33 yards and 8:17 left in the first quarter. Tuskegee with a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, great. Well, our defense held and only gave up 3 points.
Well, Justin Ruiz runs behind Roger Womack, and he takes off. He gets 30 of his own and gets Miles on the other side of the field.
Yeah, great job. Offensive line opening up. Great job.
Here, the play fake to Cohen Hudson. It only picks up 7 yards, but as we'll see later, Cohen Hudson has done a great job filling in for Anthony Robinson.
Well, Anthony's hurt, next man up, and he's done a great job.
This time, Smith, he keeps it himself, goes around left end, and he picks up 12, and now Miles is inside the 10.
Yeah, just good RPO, option read, and just pulled it when the guy took the dive.
Now the offensive line, Nate Williams, Aaron Scroggins, Tyler Lowry, clears a hole big enough for a Mack truck. That's our Mack truck, Dante Edwards, 5 yards, and Miles is on top 7-3.
Great job offense and great job by Dante.
This time, DeRamus, he wants to keep it and go up the middle, but Jalen Thomas gets the kick save and a beauty.
Yeah, another tackle for loss for Jalen, being in the right place, right time.
Well, this time, Tuskegee tries to go for it on 4th down, but DeRamus has nowhere to run. Josh McNeil, Mitch Smiley gets the turnover on downs.
Yeah, great job by the defense. Anytime they try to go for it, get the offense the ball back.
Here again, Cohen Hudson across the middle. He picks up 8 yards on the last play of the first quarter.
Great protection, RPO. Great job by Daniel, finding the right read.
On the next play, little play fake, Antonio Lee. We haven't seen him really run goes for the Golden Bears this season, but that time he picks up 33 yards on the go route.
Yeah, great job, protection, and then great pass by Daniel.
Sets up Brady Hamill, 28 yards, and now Miles has a 10-3 lead with 12:09 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, just come up with points. We just tell our guys, great job by our special team.
Miles forces a punt, but here on 3rd and 9, Smith is trying to find Dominique McNeely. He overthrows him and he gets picked off by Brandon Roberts.
Yeah, great protection, but he's got to make the right read, and he just overshot him, and great job by Tuskegee.
Tuskegee gets the ball back, and they're going to start driving. Here, DeRamus hits Stephen Hodges for 12 yards.
Yeah, great job. He's just doing a wonder, and that was a great throw, great catch.
They go back to Torian Taylor, and he goes right in that middle gap and picks up 10.
Yep, he's just explosive running back. We just try to make sure we corral them and then play gap assignment football.
Taylor will get the ball again, and this time he runs through a big hole. He's going to pick up 28 yards, and now Tuskegee is down to the Miles 12-yard line.
Yeah, like I said, it's a great running back. They did an awesome job. He's a great football player.
Here's the play of the game. They switch quarterbacks. They go to Jamarcus Ezel. He steps up in the pocket, and he tries to go to Taylor in the flat, but Nick Floyd all over it. He picks it off, and really there's just one guy to beat Nick Floyd with that speed. Gets past him, 95 yards, and now Miles is going to have a 17-3 lead.
Yeah, that was a great job. Great job by defense and Nick being in the right place at the right time.
There's one more play from scrimmage for the Golden Bears defense, and this time on the next play from scrimmage, Ezel tries to go on top, but Jarius Grayson gets his first interception of the season, and Miles thwarts Tuskegee's last chance to try to get in the end zone in the first half.
Yeah, great job defense, and Jarius, great job by Jarius, not getting beat deep, playing in coverage and making that interception.
17-3 is your score at halftime, and the Golden Bears looking good over the first 30 minutes. Tell me what you saw from the defense, especially as they were able to kind of tighten up after that first drive.
Well, a little bit. We was out of sync a little bit. We tried to do some things that were new, accustomed. Especially Coach Watson put in some new things, and that we could stop Tuskegee offense with because, they were gashing a lot of teams with that running back, and he was having a phenomenal year. He's real fast and explosive. But once our guys started playing gap assignment football and we settled down a little bit, we played a lot better second half.
Talk a bit, too, about how the score was able to kind of take some of the juice out of the crowd. When you have a crowd like that, if you let them get on top of you, especially when your team is ahead, it's a lot more difficult to play from behind.
Well, but the biggest thing, we just told our kids, take it one down, one series, one play at a time, and just do your job, do your assignment. And that's what our kids kind of bought in. And I get caught up in the crowd. I knew it was going to be real high intensity. For Tuskegee, it was their homecoming. I knew Tuskegee was coming out with a lot of fire. But I told our kids we won't have to settle down because eventually when you become too high, you kind of flat at the end. And I just told our kids, you just got to weather the storm. All those long runs, I told our kids just stay within the system and keep playing and keep battling, keep fighting, and that's what they did.
Well, 17-3 is your score at halftime. Miles is on top, still 30 minutes to go before Miles can try to claim that Western Division title and a spot in the SIAC championship game. We'll get to those highlights a little later in the show. But when we come back, it's halftime at the ball game. It's halftime here in the Huddle. We'll talk to some of the players who are getting ready to play in another SIAC championship game for the Golden Bears. We'll have that when we come back here in the Huddle with Coach Ruffin.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
Oh, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, copying, taping, binding, consulting, designing, returning, storing, grading. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin is brought to you in part by Andrew Sports Medicine, ADT, the UPS Store, TNT Fireworks, and the Maxwell Tillman Law Firm.
Back here on In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin. It's halftime in this Western Division title game tilt. Miles on top of Tuskegee 17-3, and we'll get back to the second half action in just a moment. But this is the final game of the season, final show of the season for the Golden Bears and In the Huddle. We wanted to talk to some of our players and find out what they feel about how this season has gone and looking forward to the important championship game in the SIAC.
It's a great opportunity to go back to back. It's been a hard grind this season, but we get up every Monday and Tuesday, hit the sled, keep pushing. Man, it's been hard trying to come back to back, but we keep fighting.
Yeah, I think it started all the way back in spring. Waking up in the morning, running in 20-degree weather. I think that's when it started. This wasn't just, it just doesn't happen overnight. I think coming into the season, we preach all the time as an offense. One man can mess up the play, and we try to take things one play at a time. And so I think the major thing for us this year, and in hopes of winning another championship, has just been to focus up and clean up on our assignments, and just execute better, execute more efficiently, and that's been our goal.
It wasn't hard to believe what Coach Ruffin was saying. It was true, and he preached a lot, going back to back. It's pretty hard for a team to go back to back, but we made it there, so we just got to finish the job on Saturday.
So over the past years, Coach Ruffin has pushed us very hard and continue to keep us at the top. And over these past years, we're about to get 3 championships. And the past 5 years, and that's just a great thing. Coach Ruffin always pushes us to be great. And our coaches help us excel and push us hard, and just keep grinding. So we here. Let's do it.
We all work together, and we as one. So you work together and do your job. You already know what's going to happen. Coach them, they practice hard. They push us to be the best. So, they do their job, we do our job. It's only the best going to come out.
I would say that you can take it for granted. I would just say it's just hard work, getting up every morning, day after day, just grinding, practice after practice, just trying to get better than you were yesterday. So I wouldn't take it for granted at all.
I guess I could just truly say, just the program all around, it's just a great program. They push us to keep going. The slogan for this year is "Rise as One." So it says a lot with us being 8-2. Going into the championship is like, how we going to accept this challenge, and are we going to rise as one and go ahead and go back to back with this thing. So I can say this program is honestly, since I've been here 4 years, it's done an excellent job. It's created me to a man I am today.
Coming into this year, we know they had the team to come back to back. So I feel like we really had the team. We had a bad, not so good record, but we all know if we put everything together, we know that we can go back to back and possibly pull this thing off again. So I feel like all the hard work putting in from spring, summer, just working, it's paying off. So.
Hard work, and then nobody quit. Come out here every day, every morning at 4, they come out here and work every day.
Fun experience being here, coming from JUCO and just being a part of this team. I don't know these guys, and I ain't know much about them when I got here. I just knew I was coming to play football, and they accepted me, and ever since then, we just been working hard, trying to get better and better each day. Getting used to their program, coming from a different program, and getting up every day, just getting prepared every day and getting ready to do it all over again, you know. And just competing every day, you know, trying to get better every day, whatever it takes.
Personally, it really just hurt me. Like, that was my last game, my freshman year, and I really wanted to win a championship. So my sophomore year, I just came out and worked hard, and we just came through, and we just blessed to be in this position right now.
When I first came to my, I was like, my first thing was to make plays, like come get on the team and be like a good attribute to the team, like just help the team out. I never really like was the type of player to like want to stand out and want to just be that type of just that guy. I came here because I heard the history about Miles, and I just want to be a part of history.
Coach, after hearing that and listening to your guys, I know that has to make you feel good as a coach, knowing that and some of these guys, you know, they were freshmen, they didn't know anything about what's supposed to happen here, and now you get them here, and it's like you've got a veteran crew that's only played for a little while.
Well, you know, these guys, you know, I'm very blessed, and I'm very humble for those guys being a part of this program. You know, I can say a lot of things about a lot of student athletes, but these guys, man, they come in, they put in the work, they're great in the classroom, they're great on the field, you know, just like our motto, you know, we educate, you know, we dominate and we graduate, and our kids really buy into that, and, you know, these guys going out, you know, with a bang, you know, we just got to take care of business.
Right, and your seniors, you got guys like Austin Stevens, Leonard Tyree, Daniel Smith, a lot of guys who have been here, some only 2 years, some 4 years, but those guys have been excellent leaders for this program.
Yeah, you know, they always say, you know, guys that do what they're supposed to do, be what they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to do all the time, and not doing anything to, you know, disrespect the institution, the program, and themselves and their parents. And they do everything right. You know, I can sleep at night. You know, I don't have to get those phone calls in the middle of the night with guys not doing. You know, and all those guys are all graduating. That's the key to all this. It's just not football. They're all graduating and all being a part of a championship culture here at Miles College.
Well, all of those guys are looking forward to what should be an exciting SIAC championship game coming up here this week. But first, we've got some business to finish in the second half against Tuskegee, and we'll get to that when we come back here on In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
Oh, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, copying, taping, binding, consulting, designing, returning, storing, grading. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin is brought to you in part by Andrew Sports Medicine, ADT, the UPS Store, TNT Fireworks, and the Maxwell Tillman Law Firm.
Back here on In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin, and Coach, it's second halftime here. They had the extended halftime, even helped you out there with a penalty because they went a little long. When you're sitting in a locker room for those extended halftimes, especially on the road, talk about how you keep your guys focused. You talked about before the break how you don't want them to get too high because you don't want them to bottom out later in the ball game. How do you keep them even?
Well, the biggest thing is the coaches, you know, make sure the coaches are settled in. You know, once I speak with the coaches, and I kind of take a little longer when it's a extended halftime with my time with the coaches. And then once I finish, then those coaches go out and they you know, have those position meetings with their prospective positions, and just not yelling, not screaming, just telling guys to finish strong and what we can do to correct, make the adjustments. And, you know, it's not time to holler or scream now, you know, even though we were up, but we were still making a few mistakes. But just correct the guys and let them know and go back to fundamentals. Stand starts, you know, blocking, tackling, not giving up big plays and making big plays.
Was there anything maybe that you were concerned about with what Tuskegee was doing, either side of the ball, offense or defense, that was giving you all problems that you were going to need to correct?
Well, just the leads, the gashing that they did early on offensively, and then we knew we was going to be set up for play action after, you know, with them running the leads, and the next play is off that is play action. So we need to make sure our guys understood playing gap assignment and knowing the difference between the leads and the play action that we was respecting. But, you know, offensively, you know, I thought their defense were doing some things to kind of disrupt us a little bit, you know, that we didn't get in that end zone the times that we needed to. But, you know, they had a great defense, you know. They was in top in the pack in our conference with defense, and we just make sure our kids just understand fundamentals. You know, who you blocking. You know, just movement. You know, and just staying on course.
Even with a 2-touchdown lead, that's not safe, especially in this rivalry. A couple years ago, Miles was at Tuskegee and trailed by more than 10 points going into the fourth quarter and was able to come back. We'll see if the Golden Bears were going to be able to hold Tuskegee off on the way to an SIAC championship game berth. First play of the second half, and look at this throw and catch from Teramus to Hodges. 29 yards, one-handed juggling catch there for the Golden Tigers.
Yeah, corner bit on the, hitch and go, and, he can't do that.
Here on 3rd and 3, there was almost another pick six there as Jarius Grayson gets his 10th pass breakup of the season. But the teams are going to exchange punts, and now it's on offense again. Peyton Ramsey, a couple times they were able to get behind the secondary, Coach.
Yeah, they were just running some hitch and goes and double moves on our DBs, and they can't do that.
43 yards on that play, but here on the pitch, it took Taylor just to fall on the ball, -8 yards.
Great job. DN was just in the right place, and the option was bad pitch.
Then here, it's 3rd down. The defense stays patient as Teramus zigs and zags, but it ends up being a sack by Joshua McNeil.
Great job by secondary linebacker, keeping, just staying in coverage, making it tough for him.
Forces another 33-yard field goal attempt, and it's good. 7:01 left in the third quarter. Miles is on top, 17-6.
Yeah, just a great job by defense. They got down there, but we did a good job of stopping.
Miles has to punt again, and Tuskegee's going to have the football. Watch this blitz coming from Jarius Shade. It forces Ezel to throw it quickly, and this time it's going to be Kendrell Walker with the pick, 15-yard return, and Miles has it deep in Tuskegee territory.
Great job by Coach Watson, man, just sending that blitz. Good job by the secondary.
But 2 plays later, we're going to give it right back. Smith tries to throw it in triple coverage, and Brandon Roberts gets his 2nd interception of the game.
Yeah, I know. He's got to protect that ball. We know that. That guy was double coverage. He can't throw the ball in there like that.
Well, Torian Taylor is going to get the football here late in the third quarter, and he's going to try to run again, but watch this defense again. This time it's Nick Floyd, Kadarius Roberts leading the group as they shut them down.
Yeah, great job. Coach Watson called the blitz again, and great job by defense.
We're into the fourth quarter, and somebody had to get tackled here. It's Isaiah Patterson. As you look at Jalen Thomas, Mitchell Smiley zeroed in on the play.
Yeah, great job. That's a great job by our defense. Just being in the right place, doing their job.
Then Taylor is looking for room, and there's no room. He's going to lose a yard here as everyone just is not giving him anywhere to run.
We have a better job, adjustment second half and just making sure we stay in our lanes.
Then here comes the blitz again. Kendrell Walker, Joe Tillis forces Ezel to just throw it away.
Yeah, great job, great pressure. Great job by Coach Watson. He's just dialing it up.
And so here is where Miles puts the cap on this ball game. And this doesn't look like much of a run here by Dante Edwards, but he stays in bounds. The clock is moving, and this offensive line is going to work, allowing him to run.
Great job by our offensive line. Great job by Coach Ellis, man, with our offensive line. And great job, Coach Connors, with the running backs, and Coach James calling great plays.
6 consecutive runs by Dante Edwards gets Miles inside the 25-yard line. And then on the next play here, it's going to be Justin Ruiz. Well, first we got another run here by Edwards. He ran so many times, you start to lose track a little bit, but it's going to be Justin Ruiz who's going to come here. He picks up 15 yards down to the 9-yard line.
Yeah, mixing it up. I think the offense does a great job with those two running back, 1-2 tandem. They do a good job.
Well, the drive is ultimately going to stall. Brady Hamill comes in. He knocks one in from 21 yards. That makes the score 20-6. With just over 2 minutes to go and Tuskegee unable to do anything else, Miles wins the West. 20-6 win over the Golden Tigers. And I know that had to make you feel good as that ball game wrapped up, knowing that you got another shot at an SIAC title.
Yeah, it's big for us, big for our institution, and big for our new president, Dr. Knight. And, I just want our kids to understand that, we just trying to set the bar high. We just want our kids to know, we're here to win championships. We're here to graduate. We're here to get the best of the blessing that the good man up above have for us, and I think our kids really deserve it.
Well, here you are again, Coach. This is the 5th time that you're going to go to an SIAC championship. And no surprise, you're playing the same team, Albany State. You know, how does that feel that you keep running into Albany State when it's time to play for a championship?
Well, you know, in the history of the SIC, it's always been the Tuskegees, the Albany State that's really dominated this conference. And, you know, and now we get an opportunity to kind of write our name in the record books or the history books. And Albany State has a great program, great history, great everything with Hamp Smith, former coach, that won all the SIC championships, and Mike White won a lot of the SIC championship, and now Gabe has led them to a few of the conference championships, so he's trying to look for his first championship. So, you know, we have our work cut out for us.
And this is the first time in the 5 years that you will not get an advance look at Albany State. The Rams, Golden Rams, were not on the schedule this year. Does that help you? Does it hinder you a little bit? How you attack that?
Well, you know, we played them twice last year. We played them, once the year before. So, you know, I think, you know, our kids understand, you know, what's at stake. It's a championship game, and it's Albany State. You know, in the championship game last year, we had some success, and I know that's in the back of their mind, back of their heads. But, you know, it's maybe a revenge game for them. But for us, it's just a championship game that we just got to get ready to play.
And Albany State loves to run the football. They've got 3 running backs with more than 400 yards, led by McKinley Habersham, who actually had to play some quarterback for them. They had to deal with some injuries, but it looks like, at least in the offensive backfield, this team is coming with a veteran group that knows how to play.
Hey, they can run the football. They do a good job. I think their coach is one of the best when it comes to calling offensive plays. They run around well defensively, and you know, just watching film, just been so mesmerized to how that offense flourished, and they can really pound you and really run that clock. If they need to throw it, they'll throw it. But you know, defensively, they just play sound. You know, they play Valdosta State, which is #1 team in the country. And then you turn around, they beat West Georgia in West Georgia. So you know, it's going to be a tough ball game Saturday.
Well, the Golden Bears will take on the Golden Rams in the SIAC championship game on Saturday, 1 o'clock Central Time will be the kickoff. The game will be on ESPN3. It's been a great season here on In the Huddle. It's outstanding when you can win 8 ball games, a chance to win a 9th, and we had a lot of great plays that happened throughout the season, and we want to share them with you. Coach Ruffin, it's been a great season. Hopefully we got a championship game to talk about come next season, and going forward, you can keep up with all the information on milesgoldenbears.com. We're going to leave you with those great plays. Thank you for joining us here throughout the 2019 season, and it's Golden Bears versus everybody. Thanks, and watch these highlights.
4th down and about 3. High snap way over the head of Mashburn. We'll see if he can run it down. He does. Trying to get it there. Boy, it's blocked there by the Golden Bears are going to score on that. They blocked it down near the 2, and nothing but white jerseys. Touchdown for the Golden Bears special teams. Cartier going to roll left side. Stops, raises, fires downfield. Got a man behind the defense. That's little Anthony Robinson. Robinson at the 10-5. Touchdown, Golden Bears.
Touchdown, goal!
48 with the roll to his left. 2nd and goal to go. Tinch slides to the line. They go back to Martin. Martin tries to turn the corner. Got there. Touchdown, Golden Bears. 2nd down play. Smith, ball fake. Daniel looks, surveys, got a man in the end zone. Laying out. That's Leonard Tyree. Touchdown, Golden Bears. Looks up the middle. The pocket collapses. Now he'll raise. Fires. Throw the pick at the sideline. It's picked off at the sideline. Floyd with it. Floyd trying to beat one more man. He does. He'll run it down the field to the 20. Floyd high steps it at the 10. Touchdown, Golden Bears.